My name is Frank Bybee. I'm from the Coeur d'Alene tribe and I live in Worley, Idaho. When I was about 8 or 9 years old, I watched Rocky 3 when Rocky fought B.A. And B.A. beat him the first time, and then the next time Rocky came back and beat him, and I was hooked then, and I wanted to be a boxer after that. When I was boxing, man, when I crawled through those ropes, man, I was down to die to win, man. Anything I ever do, man, my philosophy is never back down, never give up, And when I stepped through those ropes, crawled through those ropes in a boxing match, man, it was do or die, man. I've rose out of boxing hell more than once to win fights, and been knocked down, bloodied, and still come back to win, So that's why I'm crawling through those ropes, is to win. My favorite fight ever, is in the Tough Man contest, and is against a guy named Devin Den. Now, the very first round, he knocked me down, man. He knocked me down and hurt me pretty good the first round. But then the second round, I started backing him up and made a comeback the second round. But then the third round, man, we met. It was even. And I remember they announced third and final round, and this is a good one, and then they said our names, and the bar, we just met, and we just duking, man, and he got tired and just laid on the ropes, and had his guard up, and I just lightened him up pretty good, man, had his head rocking. I thought I had him more than once, he's going up, but he survived it, and I won the fight, and I won the best fight of the night for that fight. And then that fight was to go on, the winner of that fight was going on to the championship fight, so that was like really do or die, that fight. I always, when I was 19, 20 years old, I always went to parties, and I had boxing gloves in my truck, and most of the time, or a lot of the time at parties, there's always somebody mouthing off, talking about, how tough they are, but at this particular party, it was me, because I just got back. I was down in Phoenix for a few months in a boxing gym, and I was in that party. He's like, I'll box anybody. My friend John, he said, all right. And man, we went outside, and man, he was bigger than me, man. He plastered me pretty good in that boxing match. He knocked me down and smeared my face in the mud. It was like, yeah. Man, I was totally demoralized, and the next day, I went back and challenged him to a rematch, and he goes, all right, after work, I'll come over, and man, we went into my Uncle Jess's backyard and just duked it out, and we're going a little bit, but then the first round was pretty good, but then the second round, he started getting tired and backing up, and I caught him, and boom, he did a little dizzy dance, and he quit. Man, that was like the fight for Goldendale supremacy in my mind. Like the two baddest guys in Goldendale fighting. The first Tough Man I fought in was at Fighting Creek Bar by Worley, and my friend Hui set that up. And he set it up, and then there's a bunch of local farmers and beer drinkers after sucking out, and I won my division that first time. But then I went to jail for a while, and I got out, and then they started talking about the Tough Man, the original Tough Man contest at the casino, and they're advertising it on the radio, and everybody was talking about it around the res, and I was like, man, I'm gonna do that, man. And they're like, oh yeah, people was just like, oh yeah, because I'm small to be in the Tough Man contest, but I made it all the way to the championship and then the Tough Man contest was on the FX channel then. The FX channel got a hold of me, and they came out and they made a commercial with me in it to advertise the Tough Man contest. And then, I've fought in 5 Tough Man contests, and I made it to the championship every time, and I won 3. that's all in my first year of sobriety. And then after the last Tough Man contest I won in Clarkston, I remember the promoter at the Coeur d'Alene Casino asked me if I wanted a pro fight. And I'm like, what? Because I never really thought about it, being a pro boxer. I thought it was cool to do Tough Man contest. And I said, okay, I'll do it. And on August 26th of 2001, on exactly my 1 year sobriety anniversary, August 26th of 2001, I made my professional debut in boxing. I always say, I always got in trouble for drinking and fighting, but I stayed sober for a year and I got paid to fight. Yeah, I have my memory and my speech and, just I have a really hard time sitting still, man. I always got to be on the go, man. From Worley to Goldendale, Worley to Coeur d'Alene, Worley to Spokane, I can never just sit in my house. So I've real that. That's an effect of all my concussions too. Insomnia really bad, and sometimes the emotions are extreme. Yeah. I hate it when, man, it makes me so mad when people say, huh, was all that boxing worth it? Now look at you. Like, man, that gets said to me more than once. But what I say is like, man, boy, I'm dealing with this, all this stuff, but man, I'm sober. Today I'm clean and sober, and boxing helped me a lot to get sober and stay sober. Don't give up, man. Just like in a boxing match, man. If you get knocked down, just get right back up. If you slip and you start drinking again, just like, all right, man. And just the next day say, okay, I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try not to drink again. Just keep trying, man. And there's people in the communities that have been through what you're going through, so ask for help. Yeah, there's always help, man. There's people that get sober, going to meetings. There's people that get sober going to church. There's people who get sober using our culture, going to the sweat lodge, and then there's me, man. I use it all, man. I go to church, I go to meetings, I go to sweat, medicine, dance, and use my culture as much as I can, and just keep at it and just ask for help, man. That's the big thing. I got sober, but what was big for me was having to ask for help, and asking for a sponsor. Because I think that's I really knew I needed help, and I got going to meetings and really sort of meetings and steps and all that stuff. My understanding, that's just a path to God, to our higher power. That's just a way to get our higher power in our life so we can stay sober. So my faith and trust in God and, the Creator, praying. I always say an alcoholic or an addict, man, there comes a time when they cross the line. They cross the line where there's no coming back, But the only way that you could be saved from once you cross that line is with the help of our higher power, And every day that I'm not seeking my higher power or God, that's the day that drugs and alcohol are seeking me. And if I go 2 days, it gets worse. If I go 3 days, it gets worse. So I have to keep on it. So just don't give up, man. Keep trying and keep trying, and people got your back.